T, how important is going to be to get confidence early in this game with Morgan and these guys? I mean, they complete a few early. It seems like maybe they get things rolling in this game.
That's a big part of it. Some of that is us managing that. Some of it is them making the plays early. But confidence is a big thing, and that's what I want my guys to know, that I'm confident in them. I'm not going to throw them off the ship because they had a bad game. We got 11 more to go, 11 more guaranteed games to go, and I'm not going to trade them. You know, those are my guys. Those are who I have, so I believe in them. And if they go out and have another bad game, I'm still going to believe in them. They're not the only ones that have some issues. You know, it's the first game of the season, and so we got a lot to fix on our whole team. And I just look forward to those guys stepping up to the challenge and having a good game Saturday.
How surprised were you, T, that the first game turned out the way it did?
I wasn't surprised. You know, it was the first game. You know, I said earlier I was on the national championship team where the first game was uglier than that, and we won it by a point. We went on to be undefeated. So I don't get too erratic after one game. You know, that was just one game. We learned a lot about ourselves. I say that. We learned a lot about what you have and what they do well and what they don't do well. And that's what I took from it. Look at it as a learning lesson, you know, and you know, it's one game. Is all I can say about it. Look forward to Saturday and seeing how much better they got.
What was your impression of how DeMarco played on Saturday or Thursday, even though he didn't, didn't get the ball thrown?
Yeah, what was better or best about DeMarco was the fact that he was on the sideline wanting to get in as a true freshman. You don't always see that. You got some guys who would never ask you to get in the game. He wanted to get in. It was actually ticked off a little bit that he did play more. And, you know, as a coach sometimes, you don't want a young guy to get in and doesn't have success and then lose confidence. You want to put him in where they can be successful. And that's what we try to do. And now he saw a little bit of the speed of the game. He's been in front of the crowd, and he didn't flinch at all. So it gave me some confidence that little man might be ready to go do it. So we're going to put him out there and see what he has.
Given the work you guys did in the offseason and the spring, you got to be terribly disappointed by the drops, I've got to think.
Oh, I expect better, no question about it. But to say I'm going to, you know, be down on my guys, I got confidence in those guys. You know, if they couldn't play, if they couldn't catch, they wouldn't be here. You know, it's our fault that they are here. They couldn't. So it's my job to coach them up, get them ready to play. I got to have confidence in them, though. I can't join the masses and stone them in a country square. You know, I gotta love on them a little bit and get them to the race. You know, it's all about if they don't go into a game thinking they're going to be successful, chances are they're probably not. So my job is to be positive, coach them up, coach them hard, get them better every day. And when the plays come to them, it's simple. The difference in the outcome of the game, Leroy caught the pass in the end of the game, that was a touchdown. Early in the game, he dropped it. You know, if he caught the one earlier, we all feel a little bit better. Are all of our problems fixed still? No. It just felt a little better, you know. But we got to do that part. When our plays come to us, we got to make the play.
Dealing with that kind of criticism, that sounds like an ex-quarterback talking.
It is. You know, I had to live with those guys, and I've had big balls drop. You know, I couldn't lose confidence in them because, again, what am I going to do? I can't go like PlayStation and create a new guy, and, you know, with 10-inch hands that catch every ball. Can't do that. I have who I have, and I got to believe in those guys. I got to give them confidence that what we're coaching them to do is the right thing, and that if they believe in us and believe in themselves, they go out and do well. And that's where I am.
Joker talked about the physicality of the receivers, and he was highly disappointed in their blocking. They didn't put a head on nobody.
What I see from it is, and true enough, you want to be better at that, but when you're practicing against your own guys and you're saying, hey, don't push your guys into the pile and hurt your own guys, take care of each other, and sometimes that habit continues on to the game.
Yeah, right.
And I told the receivers on the sideline, I said, get out of camp mode. We're actually playing against somebody that we don't like.
Right.
You know, they're not our teammates.
Right.
And go out there and hit them. And once we start doing that, we got a lot better at it. And the attitude this week has been a whole lot better. You know, we just got to get those guys out of that. And that first game, you can have some of it. You can have, even on defense, sometimes when you're tagging off and not taking guys down to the ground, you have a little bit of that. But that's what I saw it as. Technique-wise, the guys getting up on the guys, blocking the right people, being in the right places, that was good to see. Positive side that we got to get better at, we got to finish the blocks. We got to be a little more physical on the outside. But the way we've been practicing this week, I feel confident.
So you got to just like the guy in the other uniform.
Yeah, we got to finish the play. That's bottom line. We got to finish the play, whether it's a catch, whether it's a block, whatever it is, we got to finish.
You know, Aaron Boyd around here is the guy that he sat there and chose between Oregon and Kentucky, you know, here in Lexington, and then 4-star guy comes in,
his brother played here. You know, nothing. He's not been able to live up to those expectations yet. What kind of opportunity is it for him right now? What do you see? You know, him talent-wise.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he hadn't been able to live up to the expectation. You know, he still has 2 years left. You know, and he's been learning. You know, it's a maturation process. I don't care how many stars you have or how good or wherever you come from. When you get to college, it's different. You know, high school is a lot different. And it's an adjustment you got to make. Speed of the game, mentally, physically, things of that nature. And he played early, then didn't play so much, and now he's going to have an opportunity with what's going on and the way we're headed as an offense to get a chance to go out there and prove himself. And he's been consistently catching the ball. He knows where to go. He's a veteran in that regard. We just want to see what happens on Saturday when he gets out there.
One more?
Yeah, I have one more. Daryl Collins, was he maybe a little bit more of a loss than we thought? Was he factored into the offense a little bit more?
He was going to be a part of what we do. I'll say that. Talent-wise, was really going to bring something.
We still have some guys that are trying to get their way back, but we're keeping the hammer down and pressing hard and trying to develop the guys that we have. And we've got some good football players, and everybody's got to get in the huddle, lock arms, and go out there and perform. And that's what we do, and that's what we need to do better than we did Thursday night.
You kind of feel like all eyes are on you guys right now?
Well, I think we have to play better in order for us to be a good football team. Last year we had to score a lot of points for us to be a good football team. Everybody was disappointed about our defense and our kicking game last year, and that's all anybody could talk about. And this year we lose some guys and graduate some guys, and we play good on defense and we play good in the kicking game, and we're going to have to play better on offense for us to be a successful team.
One or two more? Anybody else? Everybody done?
What do you see at the beginning of this week, Mike? What do you see?
A resolve from everybody to try and focus their attention on the detail, to try and correct mistakes that were made and try to generate some cohesiveness so that we can execute.
Thanks, folks.
Thank you. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.